Our defense was a lot better in the second half. That gets us some transition opportunities. We've just got to keep pushing the ball. We scored points in the second half, and we had 5, 6 wide open shots, 7 or 8 maybe wide open shots that we didn't make. So we're scratching the surface of what we could do.
Coach, how encouraged were you by Pascal's performance?
Well, he needs to rebound and change shots or block shots. That's what he needs to do. That's what he did last year, and he's fully capable of doing that. They had 16 points in the second half. One of them was a bank, and the other 3 was at the end of the game. So you can't play better defense than that. They're a pretty good offensive team. There's a couple loose balls we didn't get, and if we don't get those, we're not going to win this year. And I thought after that, we went out, and there was a couple more loose balls, and we got them, and we're going to have to get those. We don't, guys that are sometimes offensive-minded players like Elijah and O'Shea are, they've got to also get those balls. And we haven't been doing that all year. We need to.
You said in the past that you're not somebody who likes to send messages. And was there a message that you sent to Pascal today to start on the bench?
No, he wasn't playing good, and I want to win. So I wanted to try to win the game. Didn't really work that as well as I would have liked in terms of how we played in the beginning.
Welcome to the Cuse Militia Podcast with those two unapologetically biased, orange-blooded homers, Sean and Joe.
All right, what's up, Cuse Nation? Thanks for tuning in to the Cuse Militia Podcast with Sean and Joe. If you like it, please share it. The universal handle for the socials at Cuse Militia. Go there, join the militia. We are the only Syracuse sports podcast centered around giving you, the fans, a platform. So, welcome. As Joe said in the last show, sorry, Arkansas State, it has to be you. Right, Joe? You remember those words, don't you?
Yeah, okay.
It had to be you. Syracuse pummels Arkansas State in their first ever meeting, 82-52, in front of 18,808 fans in the Dome. You'll hear from us. We'll hear from you, those who decided to participate in the fan feedback. But first, as always, we know bowl season is upon us. And what better time to get in on some action with MyBookie than right now? Don't be that one guy on the couch with no rooting interest in some of these bowl games as your relatives sit around watching the games with you. Not this year. There's a record 41 bowl games to bet on, including the national championship game on January 7th. It really is the most wonderful time of year. Make sure you're ready for the daily action by signing up at MyBookie today. They pay fast when you win. Ownership really cares about good customer service, and they offer the craziest props. Where you bet is just as important as who you're betting on, and if you want to make money during this bowl season, you got to go to MyBookie. I trust them, but you don't have to take my word for it. Go check them out for yourself. Join MyBookie today, and they will offer you a 50% deposit bonus. Make sure you have a nice bankroll for this bowl season. Use promo code CUSE25 when you deposit to activate that offer. That's promo code CUSE25. At MyBookie, you play, you win, you get paid. MyBookie. All right. Okay. Morning announcements, class. So we did get word. No, I don't have a ton. We did get word. Guard Howard Washington, he's going to sit out the rest of the season with medical redshirt. The ACL that he suffered in his right knee last January, he underwent surgery. He returned. He did get some minutes this year, but he's not made it back to full health, and he's struggling. And he just, like Coach said, he was not able to overcome it. So he's going to medical red shirt this year for the rest of the year. So stop asking about
sometimes it takes a little bit more time than others. Everyone's a little different, so.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, because you want kids to play, obviously, but you don't want them to not be able to play because of medical reasons. Right.
You know what I mean? But you don't want to rush them back, and then they could get hurt. So you might as well, be more careful about it and do the smart thing. And at least it's not a season where we're actually 100% relying on him. So it would have been nice to get out there and see what he can do. And I know that some of our point guard players struggled, but at least we know that he'll have another year and he'll be back in full health next year. So
yeah. So, and It's better for everybody. So we are doing our Camping World Bowl preview. Should be out tomorrow afternoon. That's tomorrow, Christmas Eve afternoon. It'll be there for a couple of days. So the episodes are going to come out back to back, and it'll be there a couple of days, obviously, before the bowl game for you to listen to that. We're having Tyler Marone on. Tyler is one of our podcast buddies. He hosts the only other podcast I would recommend besides this one, and that is he's of the Trademark Podcast. He hosts the Syracuse Football Digital Radio program. So if you've never listened to Tyler, give him a shot. He's a former Syracuse defensive end. He knows what he's talking about, and he's entertaining. So go there.
Yes, sir.
And listen to him, and he'll be on with us in our next episode. So look forward to that. All right. The Orange held the Red Wolves to 16 points in the second half, making a 41-point turnaround after being down by 11 in the first. Hughes and Battle both led the team with 17 points. Hughes shot 50% from the floor, and he had 3 threes. And again, he's just solid every game for the Orange. He's been solid. I think he had one bump game. Other than that, he's solid. He's always leading scorer or he's bridesmaid. So he was huge in the first half. When the offense was struggling, he hit a couple threes, and he basically saved us coming back in that first half. Tyus was 5 for 12. He hit 6 of his 7 free throws. That's good to see. Brissett was 1 rebound away from a double-double. That's good to see. He finished with 15. He also shot 50% from the field. Chukwu, off the bench this game, he finished with 4 points. All 4 of those, 4 for 4 on free throws. He also pulled down 13 rebounds, 6 of those offensively, 6 of the 11 of the whole entire team, actually. So he was very active down low. The effort, I thought, was excellent from him. And, Chukwu doesn't have to be a superstar. Chukwu just has to contribute. He has to do the things that, as you heard Coach say, that he knows that Pascal can do down low. That's rebound and block shots. He can do that. He's 7'2". We're not asking him to shoot from behind the arc. So, Frank is still on the struggle bus a little bit. He struggled again. I think he had 3 assists and 6 points. He was 4 for 4 from the line. Syracuse actually did shoot the ball pretty good, though, 47.1%. They continue to struggle from distance, 7 of 23, but they were 81.8% from the line, 27 from 33. That I can deal with. Cuse held Cockfield to 17 points. The Red Wolves were 34.6 shooting as a team, and Cuse won the battle of the boards, 37-30, resulting in 18-11 in second chance points in favor of the Cuse. So, Joe, it's Arkansas State. This is how it should be, right? But 30 points. I mean, they crushed them. And that was after leading by 2 at the half. Yeah.
Well, that's what you expect them to do against teams like that. That's what they should do against teams like that. And it was something that it was a welcoming thing to see, something I think a lot of the fans needed to see to kind of take one of the feet off the ledge. And again, I mean, I think we had 3 players that played pretty solid, pretty efficient, and with a guy Chukwu in the middle playing a game in the middle like that, we're going to beat most teams that we should beat when we play like that. Frank Howard definitely has to play a little bit better. 1 of 6 from the floor, 0 of 4 from the 3-point line. He's still taking too many, but so he's still struggling, and it was unfortunate to see that Jalen Carey was injured and he couldn't play. I thought Buddy Boeheim came in and played some decent minutes. But it's like it comes down to what we talk about every single week. The little things, the little categories that we talk about them winning as a team. And, I mean, we won all of them. I mean, we shot a better percentage from the field. We shot a better percentage from the free throw line. We won rebounds. We won turnovers. So when that happens, you got a really good chance of winning. And then when you hold the team to 16 points in a half, then you really have a really good chance to win, especially when you're scoring like that. So,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Buddy did put in some good minutes. I mean, he hit a 3, and, it's funny because, I mean, the crowd and the fans, he's the hometown hero, basically. You just want to root for Buddy, and he's just been so... He has struggled so much this year, and it was good to see. Look, this is what you expect from Syracuse playing a team like Arkansas State, and I get it. But had they lost, I mean, it is like devastating. So a 30-point win. It wasn't no 2-point win. You know what I'm saying? They fixed things at the half. They came out. They did their thing. So I'm good.
Well,
with
that's
that.
that's what they have to do. And the one thing that stood out to me was, when your offense isn't clicking, you don't want to have to force shots. If the defense is holding you down to the end of the shot clock, go to the hole, try to be aggressive, try to get to the free throw line. I think that was some of the things that we did really well. Obviously shooting 33 free throws. Making 27 to 33 free throws, and then playing the defense that you did. You don't really even have to shoot 47% to win a game. So,
right.
It just seemed to me like the Brissett and Hughes in battle, they took really high percentage shots. And
they were able to penetrate a little better, especially Brissett. He was able to take the shots that we want him to take, that he should be taking.
Right. Well, the problem is that you have to, when a team's playing aggressively and they're kind of testing the refs and testing, the offense, if you just sit there and you take bad shots and you don't get any fouls called on that person, then they're going to just continue to keep doing it. So it's kind of one of those things where you got to force the issue and you got to get some of these guys a couple fouls so that they back off, because no one wants to get fouled out of a game. And I think that's one of the things that they just got to be smarter about. I think a lot of our big issues is the mental aspect of the game and little things like that, and just knowing that if someone's going to be all up in you and you're not going to allow you to really get a good shot off, then you got to do things to kind of combat that and get a little bit more space. And getting guys in foul trouble is one of the ways. So as long as you can do that controlled and, it's beneficial because it gets them in foul trouble, they back off, and then you can get to the free throw line. So, playing smart like that, it's not always about shooting a three ball. Sometimes you got to get down there and be physical and play dirty. So.
Yeah, and I will say, too, just to piggyback on what I was talking about earlier, it being Arkansas State, we know, but they've struggled from the line all year. And it doesn't matter what team you're playing. They shot 81%. Call it 82% from the free throw line.
The free throw is the same thing no matter who you're playing.
Right,
so.
It could be Duke, it could be anybody. And that improved dramatically. So, that's the one thing you can take away from this, I think. I think, like you mentioned, the higher percentage shots obviously contributed to 47% from the floor. And, it's not going to always be like that. But a boost of confidence goes a long way to these young guys. And to beat up on a couple teams coming up, that's really good. So they've actually got a week off. We are going to go ahead and do the St. Bonaventure pregame later in the week. And play next Saturday, and then they have another whole week off, right, before they start
before ACC
game.
play. Yeah.
So
and what you talked about too, it's interesting because it's a lot like last year when you used to talk about that too. Remember we used to talk about them last year, how they were consistently inconsistent.
Yeah.
And that's what it is. The talent they have on their team, but you don't know what team you're going to see from night to night, which causes a lot of heartache and a lot of close games, and especially against some teams when you don't think you should be there. And that's really where we are with this team,
Yep.
That's what the nucleus of this team has given us the past couple of years, and that's kind of where we're at. We've been living on the bubble, and, exactly.
It looks like we're going to live on the bubble again this year, so it should be exciting, guys. I guess we'll have to break out the old what do you call it? They call it the net system now, but they still do rely on the quadrants, I guess. So
no, it's part of it.
Yeah, it's part of it. So we'll have to break that stuff out again, but it is what it is. All right, well, it's time to hear from you, those who participated.
It's time to hear from you, the loudmouths from the Loud House, the best damn college sports fans in the nation.
All right, you know where to find us. The universal handle is at Cuse Militia on Facebook and Twitter. We propose the question at the end of every game, and you go there and you give us your thoughts immediately after the game, good, bad, or indifferent. This week, Saturday afternoon games at 2, when they get over at 4 and you're playing in Arkansas State, these are the worst. This is the worst gathering of as far as numbers go. There's not a whole lot to choose from. So the fan feedback top 10 is brought to you by JP Mulligan's. Now, listen, JP Mulligan's has done something that I thought is great. They have given you $1 off every Labatt bottle that you buy there during the SU game. So go there. I would Uber. Dollar off Labatt bottles. I'm definitely Ubering there, and I'm definitely Ubering back. But they're open.
yeah.
They're definitely they're open happy hour every Monday through Friday, 4 to 6. Trivia Tuesdays, and every NFL game. And like I said, every Cuse game, dollar off Labatt bottles. You can't beat it. So the fan feedback top 10 is actually the fan feedback top 9 today at Oil Cuse. Our buddy Captain Patrick.
They weren't impressed, were they?
It's not a whole lot of yeah.
Whine about. So
Yeah, well, you'd be surprised.
no,
Some still whined. But it's a good effing thing they won. Otherwise, I think we'd have some people on suicide watch. And I think it's funny, Joe, because I don't think you scroll the comments like I do. And you mentioned that. Seriously. People would be freaking jumping off and throwing themselves out of windows. So, yeah, absolutely, Captain. At Orange Faithful, second half looked like the squad we thought that they were going to be, hoping they build off of it. Yeah, the confidence, right, Joe? I mean, confidence can go a long way with these guys, can't it?
yeah, like we talked about, it's at some point it gets borderline humiliating, and you got to get out there and prove that you are who you are and who people think you were going to be. And obviously, we have some people that still aren't there yet, but obviously, we had 4 other people that kind of stepped up and answered the call this past Saturday. So,
yeah, at Salty Warrior, we looked decent against Cupcakes only. Well, that I can't argue with that, but too much because we really only have one signature win this year. I can't argue with it too much. So,
no.
Yeah, Syracuse Orange basketball has a lot to prove to at Salty Warrior, and
Yeah.
I don't blame fans for calling that out. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't.
it all depends on what his definition of a cupcake is.
Arkansas State.
Arkansas State definitely is, and there's others that are on our schedule.
Right.
But
Sure.
I'd be interested. There's some people like I venture to say that there's not a cupcake when it comes to conference play.
Oh,
there's
absolutely not.
Sometimes, obviously, there's the worst team in the conference.
Sure.
But at the end of the day, I don't think any of them are considered cupcakes. So there's some people out there that think that they are. So, like I said, when we start winning some games in the ACC, hopefully we don't keep getting those same comments about cupcakes.
Well, and the team has to kind of prove themselves back to some of the fans.
Oh yeah, absolutely. That's why right now that's valid, and I'm not going to argue it. That's what I just said.
Exactly.
At
If not now, when 84? I think that's 280 characters right there. This team. This is a team they should have been the entire year. Chuku played like a boss. In parentheses, he puts, even though Sean hates him. Now listen, if you're a new listener, that's a joke, I think.
No, it's not. It's real.
Rebounds. Shut
real
up,
life
Joe.
people.
Shut up.
You don't even know what he says behind the scenes.
Oh boy, here we go. You are such a tool.
Look, I'm not going to go into
gosh.
details. I'm just saying.
Okay. He sat on the bench this week. Okay, he got shown the whip. We talked about it. It worked. Sometimes tough love, man. Tough love. Rebounds are key. Offense still a little lacking and still crappy at the line. Michael. What were you watching? 81.
27 of 33 is not 82%. Crappy, my friend.
They did start slow, though. Oh, I will say this, because Mike commented on my tweet. I tweeted about the free throws because they did not start good. They did not. They were closer to 40-something, maybe even 50 at the best. So, but, I'm encouraged, but this was a mediocre team. Absolutely, yeah, we talked about that. Daniel, they look good, obviously, against a team we were supposed to beat, but games like this will hopefully help them gel as a team and to remember to have fun on the court. Yeah, 2 alley-oops. This is kind of what that kind of cohesion.
Looked like they were having fun. Looked like they wanted to be out there.
Absolutely.
Albeit a cupcake. He's right. Sometimes you need these games that just kind of get you in the right mindset.
Yeah. Built like another confidence builder, like I said. Talking about Chuku, I really enjoyed watching him today. I felt like he got them going. Yeah, I mean,
even though Sean hates him.
Yeah, right. Of course.
You forgot to read that part in it.
Yeah. But yeah, he did get him going. I mean, 13 rebounds, 6 offensively. I mean, like I said, he doesn't have to be a superstar. All he's got to do is catch the ball. Don't put it on the ground.
No, he can catch the ball. I told you.
Yeah. Oh, he's gotten better at catching. Oh, thank God.
He has.
At EE07. Talking about Chukwu, they're a different team when he is active on defense. Yeah, well, it takes a lot of pressure off of everybody, especially, like Brissett and, Hughes at times. When if someone else can rebound the ball, yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Bubba says, it's painful to watch. I'm not watching. Let me know if we win. When does the women's team play? I will watch that. He's an in-house troll. Aichil. Gosh.
Well, they won. They won by 30, and then the women played at 7 o'clock that night, and they won too.
Yeah,
so there
and
you
this
go,
was
Bubba.
obviously, I post this after the game. So Bubba has no idea. He has no idea.
I just want to let him know.
Eichel. I'm
Eichel.
saying Eichel. I think I'm saying that right.
Finkel?
Still no pressure defense, but there was a buddy sitting big man finally got the message. I don't know what he means. I don't know what he's trying to say. I know what he's trying to say, but I don't know why he's typed it like that. Sitting Pascal sent a message is what he's saying. And I don't know. We'll see, right? Because we won't know until the next game. I mean, because Coach will sit him again. He's not afraid to put Mark down there, although it doesn't work. I mean, let's be honest. It doesn't. It doesn't work. And it ain't going to work in conference play. It's not even close.
It's for emergency minutes only.
Yeah. I mean, he does add a little bit. Does add a little bit of energy down there, but I don't think it's a fix by any means. But
no.
It could be, like he says, sitting Chukwu sends a message to Chukwu.
Right.
So, all right. Well, that's it. So that's it for fan feedback. Look, quick episode. Arkansas State. We know, you're supposed to beat Arkansas State. It was a home game. 18,000 people, almost 19,000, which is excellent. I like seeing that. But it doesn't matter to me. A win is a win, and the best we can finish is 9-4 in non-conference, and it's very important that we do so because the damage is done, and we can't afford to lose.
No, you have to look at where usually the number is. I mean, usually it's right around 20 wins. And to get 20 wins, we're going to have to win 11 games.
Yeah.
Out of 18 in the conference, which I mean is tough. It's tough sledding in this conference, and our strength schedule is going to be there. Our strength schedule is definitely going to be there.
You got to play Duke twice, so.
Oh, dude, yeah. I mean, we have opportunities all over the place, and that's where it comes down. And on top of the fact that you got to kind of keep an eye on the teams that did beat us because what they do affects how we're looked upon as well. So, again, I think I mean, I'm not going to speak for you, but I'm going to go one game at a time. And
yeah, no, I totally agree. One game at a time, and it should always be like
St.
that.
Bonaventure, we got a week. I'm going down to the bowl game. I don't want to really have to stress about this.
Right.
And hopefully we can just kind of handle St. Bonaventure the way that we did Arkansas State, and then we can have another week. And again, maybe that's just the time that this team needs to kind of get it together.
Yeah, so again, I will reiterate, be on the lookout for our Camping World Bowl preview. We will have Tyler Morona on there, and I'm sure it's going to be excellent. I'm almost positive. So be on the lookout for that. And thanks for spreading the word. Again, the universal handle for everything, if you don't know already, is at Cuse Militia. Thank you to JP Mulligans. Thank you, MyBookie. Thank you, Shoppingtown Barbershop. Thank you for all of you for listening, those who participate in fan feedback. For
You're
Joe,
welcome.
I'm Sean. We're out. Cue the bells.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Cuse Militia Podcast, the fan's voice with Sean and Joe.